We can also talk a little bit about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection being announced this week. Honestly, it looks really cool. Like you have all the obviously, the first 4 games or whatever. And you have Mortal Kombat Advance, which I'm sure somebody asked for, but I never talked to them. And the Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat. It's kind
Yeah,
of
Game Boy Advance version, by the way.
yeah, Mortal Kombat Advance, which is
Yeah.
I did have a copy of that growing up. It
Mm.
wasn't great, but
Oh, okay.
I think given a little bit of time and space, yeah, I've come to appreciate it because it's like it's one of those weird things that you are able to play this thing that you're probably not really supposed to be able to play it on, and that is actually going to be the subject of my quick hit. But I'll get to that later on. What are you thinking about the Legacy Collection, man? Because the fact that we have rollback netcode for Mortal Kombat Advance just seems very silly, and I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah. Hey, more the merrier. We're in a time period where we are getting all the old games remastered, getting upgrades like rollback netcode. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat 1 through 4. Uh, I'm here for it. All the old classics that I grew up with. I'm glad to see them, like I said, getting remastered, and the collection I think is going to be fun. It will give a lot of younger gamers that weren't around when these games came out a chance to play them. And
Yeah,
I think that also they said they're gonna have over 20 games total in the collection when it's finally done. So
which is
yeah, there's
wild,
more on
right?
the way, which is just crazy. So yeah, I mean, kudos to NetherRealm for pulling this off and making this happen. And yeah, more the merrier. Hey, the FGC cannot complain right now. We are getting Christmas in June.
And the fact that we're getting Mortal Kombat's, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, so
Huh?
it's Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and 4, Mortal Kombat Advance, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Like, let's go,
Yeah.
man. And as well as Tournament Edition. So I'm perfectly fine with that, and that's I I genuinely think because people kind of forgot the impact that Mortal Kombat had, not just
Oh
on
no, I have not. Woo.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about the younger generation. We're kind
Oh,
of
okay.
old heads,
All right. All
but
right.
like people
Yeah.
do not realize just how big of an impact Mortal Kombat had on the world. Like we're not even just talking about, like this is something where like Mortal Kombat was such a violent game for the time that governments got involved. like
That's right.
like legitimately countries have banned these games. Japan, I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat's still banned.
Yep.
And you
Don't play
have
on your Game Boy. You go over there now, Stu.
yeah, dude, Joe Lieberman like saw this game and realized that games needed a rating system. That Mortal Kombat's the reason we have the ESRB. Like legitimately it changed the landscape of American politics. So the fact that you have like if any fighting game deserved a legacy collection, you can make this argument, but I don't really know if a game has shaped the world that we live in the way that Mortal Kombat has.
No, it hasn't. This game, when it came out, it solely shifted the culture. It is the word fatality was not really in use before this game came out like it is now.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I have
it
a
was,
shirt that says fatality on the back of it right now. And it's because of Mortal Kombat.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, this was a supreme competitor of Street Fighter when it came out and was more popular than Street Fighter, if you could believe that. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, like you said, this game was a force, still is a force. But yeah, this really hits me in a special place thinking back to Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 back in the day in the arcades, and just doing the fatalities was something that has never had the same kind of phenomenon like it has in fighting games and video games overall.
And it does kind of come at a strange time, right? After the release of Mortal Kombat 1's Definitive Edition, realizing
Yes.
that this is going to be the end of the line for MK1, and maybe it didn't last as long as perhaps the developers would have liked. Certainly not as long as Warner Brothers would have liked, but there are a lot of things going on at Warner Brothers that I think could throw a few video game franchises into question. I mean, most notably, David Zaslav had his like $54 million like pay package voted against by the board in a rebuke that does not happen all the time in the corporate world. But that's like at the very top. You have like That's like the fight between the elder gods. Meanwhile, like Mortal Kombat's kind of just the Shaolin student that's trying to, stay humble and stay in his lane in the real world. And it sucks to hear Mortal Kombat talked about like that, but that is the state of modern media, where you are owned by, and it comes with its perks. Like you get to have like RoboCop and T1000 in your game, and that's all well and good. But it does come with the price that maybe you're not giving the fans entirely what you want. It feels like the Legacy Collection is a return to form in that regard, at least to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, this was basically going back to its roots. And yeah, all the politics now being owned by big businesses, video games are a lot more mainstream than they used to be. And yeah, it is going back to the basics. And like I said, I'm glad to see these old classes get updated to 2025 standards with robot netcode and online
With
play
online
features.
play, like that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it is. I would actually love to see at Evo or other, big tournaments, maybe a Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 tournament, as a side bracket or whatever, which may happen now, to just
yeah,
see those games, come back and everything. Because I know at Evo, almost every fighting game known to mankind is played.
exactly. And I mean, if you have an audience for it, it's going to happen. I mean, we have people. This is the fighting game community we're talking about. We're talking about a group of people who have played grand finals of a tournament in a truck bed or like in a bathroom. Shout outs to Melty
Hmm.
Blood, because I will always shout that out because that's just funny to me. But yeah, no, like Mortal Kombat is going to live, which if you know the game's content is very, very ironic.